This weekend was every nerd's journey to Mecca, San Diego Comic-Con. Was I there? No. It's expensive and I'm kind of poor. But I did watch the trailers. Those juicy tidbits of things studios want you to spend more money than you logically should on. Those morsels of the excitement to come as we pretend we're not lonely in our rooms just sort of watching and talking about YouTube videos and stuff. Oh god. Anyways, I am here today to talk about what in my opinion are the 4 most important trailers to come out of San Diego Comic-Con. There were a lot of great ones this year. In my opinion, a better stack than a lot of previous years. However, I've elected to talk about the 4 that A, are part of things I know the most about, and also 2, I think will have the biggest impact on things to come for, well, me and my fellow sweaty nerds. So without further ado, let's get started. So DC is planning on getting in on the streaming game with their own streaming service, DC All Access. This will be a multimedia project that will give you access to tons of DC comics, their shows, and their movies. Their flagship series that they're hoping to get you in will be the new series Titans, a live-action adaptation of Teen Titans, which currently has like 3 different medias going at this moment. It's getting kind of crazy. Anyways, so the Titans trailer was the thing that opened San Diego Comic-Con and was one of the most things talked about over the course of the weekend. However, none of this was positive, and yeah, this trailer is absolutely fucking atrocious. Not only does this weird dark gray scale they've put over everything make a lot of the stuff hard to notice, but it also feels very mistoned and feels like something just shat out of a marketing department. It very clearly has looked at like the Dark Knight trilogy and Arrow and a lot of the popular DC stuff, and instead of chalking why those things work as to things such as good writing, brilliant direction, good acting, they've essentially just sort of decided to only look at the thing that they can market and put in a bottle. And that is the dark edginess, which really is only going to appeal to a select group of 13-year-olds for like 6 months until they get over that phase. And that's kind of where this whole thing fails, is that I never feel like it really is an adaptation of these characters. I never feel like this is for anybody. It just looks dark and dirty and cringy and unpleasant and unlikable. The reason Fuck Batman became such a big hashtag over the weekend was simply put because that's how you sum up this trailer. Just a lot of dark grittiness with not a lot of character and personality to it. There feels like there's no deeper meaning to why things are dark or serious. Now they might try and do that with the Raven storyline, although it's annoying. Once again, we have another Teen Titans interpretation that's just about Trigon, but also that actress, she seems okay. But it doesn't really feel like anything is being showcased here. On top of that, you have a lot of the controversies with some of the castings, i.e. the casting of Starfire, and even just the other characters looking really dumb and ridiculous, which could work if this was a self-aware, lighthearted series like the Teen Titans animated show was from the early 2000s. Then you could actually do something with it. Or even if it just went full-on ridiculous like Teen Titans Go, which I don't even really like, honestly. But it's just, there's nothing here that feels like it would really grab anybody. And when you want this to be the main sort of push for your own, like, whole streaming service and be part of the big dogs, I just really sense a failure coming, and it appears most people do too. Godzilla King of the Monsters is kind of a weird one. I think the trailer shows off a lot of cool stuff. I think it's weird we got that Monarch teaser just like 2 days beforehand. But if we're looking at everything, I think the movie sounds cool in concept. I like the fact that it's going to be focusing more on Godzilla this time instead of the last film, which is more like the destruction and the aftermath. What does it mean? Deep meaning crap. Woo! This one, no. This one is very more self-aware, has a lot more destruction and monsters. But at the same time, that song they put in the trailer is fucking weird. Like, it's a bizarre choice, and I get it. The idea is it's supposed to be, like, poetic, the nature of destruction, these creatures returning, blah, blah, blah. It's a movie called Godzilla King of the Monsters. Like, for crying out loud. At least in the last one, the name Godzilla does have a level of epicness just in the sound. So the way the film looked, I think, really worked to all extensive purposes. But this one, I just think that song is the wrong choice. It's like doing a movie called Batman v Superman and making all the trailers dead serious. Anyways, but no, all in all, I think it'll be fun. It looks a little too big, though. Like, all the amounts of citywide destruction might be a little too much. Again, Godzilla's an animal. It's not like he's really going to try and intentionally save the cities. And also, I'm a little worried about how they're using Millie Bobby Brown from Stranger Things. I like her in Stranger Things, but based on the way she's acting in these trailers, and even the way they've got her looking, I can't help but worry that they're just going to lean in too heavily to typecasting her as 11, especially considering she seems to have a connection to Mothra, and I won't go into it, but Mothra has a lot of connections to kids and stuff in the Toho Godzilla film, so it is a little worrisome, but it still looks cool. I'll definitely go watch it. Aquaman looks cool. It looks fun. It looks like a adventure. It looks like a homage to like things like Indiana Jones and Ben-Hur and stuff like that, which is what they've said it is. And I think this trailer shows that. And I think it shows it being entertaining. I don't get a sense of deeper meaning from this trailer. I don't get a sense that there's any sort of big concepts involved. I don't really get a huge sense that this is going to be like the big triumphant coming of this big awesome hero, or at least not in the same way I felt with Wonder Woman or Black Panther. But it looks fun. It looks cool. And I think DC really needs these films to feel different, so I think this one is going for the more sort of adventure film, the sort of big, looking for super cool stuff, and the super cool world of Atlantis. Atlantis looks really cool too. I don't know why. A lot of people are comparing it to the Gungan city from Phantom Menace. I thought it looked a little too much like Pandora underwater. Especially because isn't Avatar 2 supposed to be set underwater? I don't know. I think it looks cool, but I don't really sense anything deeper here besides just an entertaining thrill ride, which is fine. But, you know, you kind of don't want things to go too far the opposite route. Like, that was sort of, I think, the problem with Justice League, is they decided to take all the concepts that Batman v Superman thought it was tackling and just flush it down the toilet, and because of this, the movie, though I think is very fun and very entertaining, does feel a little hollow. And I don't want that feeling here too, because Jason Momoa seems like he is so in love with playing Aquaman, and I really did like him in Justice League, so I'm hoping he really gets the chance to really shine here, and I think it'll be a lot of fun, but we'll have to wait and see. And finally, in my opinion, the most important trailer of San Diego Comic-Con, in my opinion, the best trailer of San Diego Comic-Con, the Shazam trailer. Why do I think this one excels above all the rest? Because we weren't expecting it. We didn't know this was coming. Some would even argue maybe it's a little too early. No one knew we were getting a Shazam trailer this early, and once it happened, it overshadowed everything. It even overshadowed Aquaman, and that was the movie we were waiting for a trailer for from this weekend. Like, the Shazam trailer is such a breath of fresh air, and in my opinion, a step in the right direction, because kind of like what I was just saying, it feels different. It feels like its own thing. This is a movie about a kid who becomes a superpowered adult. So why not have fun with it? Why not have him do things like try and get beer and free food and stuff like you see at the end of the trailer? Why not have him fool around with the powers and like charge people's phones or test things? And I like the fact that you get a sense of the movie's more darker, or not necessarily darker, but deeper aspects to it. It opens with this kid who is a loner and can't really connect with anybody, maybe afraid to connect to anybody, suddenly being thrust into a family. In each of these DC Cinematic Universe movies, or at least most of them, they've tried really fucking hard to sort of make the drama of the characters be what it's all about. Superman's not about being all he can be. It's about an outcast and how he wants to bond. And BVS is about the struggle between right and wrong. And, oh, the masks and what do they mean? Shazam is about a kid who wants to connect to people and wants to make something of himself. That is something people can actually relate to. And that is what it feels like was being accomplished here. This is a movie about a kid trying to adapt and grow, and I like that it seems fun and it seems exciting. Again, comic book movies are inherently ridiculous, because comics are inherently ridiculous. That's what makes comics great, is because they're total nonsense, but they have this ability to bring you in and make you care about these characters on the page. I love seeing that translated into reality, and that is what should be the focus. How do you take the nonsense and make it work on the big screen? Not how do you throw the nonsense in the garbage and make the character work for an audience that it really shouldn't even be trying to impress. Shazam is very upfront with what it is and what it's going to be about, and I like that. Also, I like that costume. A lot of people think the sort of padded muscle look seems goofy and out of place. No, I think for how insanely funny this movie and goofy it's trying to seem, I think that works perfectly. And I'm really excited for this, and this movie just shot right up for me in terms of excitement. I have a really good feeling about Shazam, and the fact that it's taken up so much of the attention from Comic-Con, I think is proof a lot of people are too, and I'm really excited. But are you? Tell me in the comment section below what you thought about these trailers. What trailers were you excited for? Because just because I didn't talk about something you really liked, I respect everything that came out of Comic-Con this year. These are just the things that interest me the most. So, yeah, that's what this was about. And as always, click to like, click to subscribe, and rest in peace, King of the Sweaty Nerds, Jon Schnepp.